Our world is engineered for unprecedented ease. We can order groceries to our door, summon entertainment with a click, and manage our lives from home. This promise of more time and less friction is alluring and often delivered. Yet beneath this modern ease, a quiet transaction is taking place. Its costs are paid in slow, nearly invisible installments. Every choice that boosts comfort sits upon a hidden trade-off. A less stressful day, a faster way to complete a task, a more flexible schedule. We often surrender deeper human capacities. Our brains are complicit. They are hardwired to seek the path of least resistance, conserve energy, and favor immediate rewards over delayed, uncertain gains. That wiring once ensured survival in scarcity, but in today's abundance, it nudges us toward perpetual ease. Small concessions accumulate into a significant deficit over time. This essay explores three fundamental trade-offs. First, the pursuit of a soft life, eroding resilience and leaving confidence brittle. Second, powerful AI freeing time, but atrophying critical judgment and intuition. Each trade-off follows the same pattern. Immediate comfort masks gradual loss of a hard-won skill. Understanding this is not about rejecting modern life or demonizing comfort. It's about becoming a more conscious participant in daily choices. By spotlighting these quiet trade-offs, we can navigate them more wisely. We can embrace modern benefits without sacrificing strengths that make us effective, resilient, and deeply human. The goal isn't hardship, but strategically reintroducing challenges that keep our edge sharp and inner foundation strong, ensuring comfort serves us rather than diminishes us in the long run. The appeal of a soft life is undeniable and deeply human. It presents itself as a form of self-care, a necessary antidote to burnout and the relentless modern pace. Ample rest, cozy, controlled environments, minimal stress, deliberate avoidance of ambitious, pressure-filled goals. On the surface, this seems harmless, even wise. It looks like healthy prioritization of mental well-being. Rest is not the enemy. It's vital for recovery, performance, a balanced existence. We all need calm to recharge and process experiences. The problem is when rest becomes the central organizing principle of your life. A life plan built around avoiding difficulty causes personal development to shrink. Engaging with hard problems and small failures forges rare skills and psychological grit. But sidestepping challenges for ease leaves your toughness untested. You're calm on a fragile foundation. This isn't moral failure, it's biology. Our brains are reward-seeking machines, and low-effort activities create a dopamine feedback loop. This erodes your anti-fragility, the ability to gain strength from stressors. Many systems, including the psyche, are not just resilient, able to withstand stress, but anti-fragile, able to become better because of it. Avoiding pressure prevents that strengthening process. Small, non-lethal stressors make systems more robust. The long-term cost of no productive stressors is fragile confidence. The world will present a storm. It will demand grit, resilience, and the ability to perform under pressure. If you've avoided the training, you may find yourself unable to swim when you most need to. Well, you know. This brings us back to Nassim Taleb's concept of anti-fragility. He uses the term to describe things that benefit from shocks. They thrive and grow when exposed to volatility, randomness, disorder, and stressors. Recognizing the trade-off between comfort and resilience is the first step, but insight isn't enough. We must move from passive understanding to active practice. The goal is to consistently integrate small, productive stressors into your routine, choosing challenges just outside your comfort zone that feel difficult but achievable. A practical way to begin is to commit to one weekly challenge. Not a monumental goal, but a small task that introduces a healthy dose of pressure. Each week, intentionally choose to do something hard. Commit to a workout you normally avoid, or take on a small project at work that requires a new skill. This practice works by recalibrating your brain's response to difficulty. Each time you navigate a small challenge, you teach your nervous system that stress isn't a threat. You're creating a new neural pathway that associates effort with reward, proving to yourself that you can handle discomfort. Over time, your tolerance for difficulty increases, and tasks that once seemed daunting feel manageable. This is how you build anti-fragile confidence. To understand the comfort trap, we must look at our brain's fundamental wiring. Forged when conserving energy meant survival, our brain evolved a simple rule: take the easier way. This bias is driven by dopamine, which rewards low-effort pleasures, reinforcing the behavior. That's why scrolling social media feels better than starting a hard report, creating a current toward comfort that gives an immediate, predictable hit. The brain records it as a win. By contrast, resilience-building activities involve struggle, learning a new language, training for a marathon, mastering complex software, and their rewards are delayed and uncertain. Ancient circuitry often reads struggle as threat, pushing us back to safety. Enter anti-fragility. Some systems break under stress. Fragile, some resist stress. Robust, some get stronger. Anti-fragile. The immune system shows this. Small exposures strengthen us. Psychological resilience follows the same law. A life with no challenge is like an immune system raised in a sterile bubble. Vulnerable. Constantly choosing comfort places our confidence inside that bubble. The long-term cost is loss of adaptability. The world is volatile. Challenges will come. Someone who only knows comfort is unprepared for sudden setbacks. Their confidence is brittle. Someone who practices small difficulties builds a stress toolkit. Their confidence is battle-tested and internal. Well, you get the idea. The second major trade-off revolves around the rise of powerful artificial intelligence tools. These technologies offer a level of convenience that was once the stuff of science fiction. AI can now draft our emails, write our reports, generate creative ideas, analyze complex data sets. This is an incredible force multiplier, promising to free up vast amounts of our time and mental energy. It allows us to bypass tedious, repetitive tasks and focus on higher-level strategic thinking. The appeal is immense and obvious. Why spend hours struggling with a first draft when a machine can produce a solid one instantly? The convenience is real, but so is the hidden cost. The trade-off lies in what we stop doing when we delegate our thinking to a machine. The act of wrestling with a problem, structuring an argument, searching for the right words, weighing conflicting pieces of information, is not just busy work. It is a crucial form of cognitive exercise. These mental workouts are what build and maintain the neural pathways responsible for critical thinking, nuanced reasoning, and sound judgment. When we consistently outsource these tasks to AI, we are essentially putting our brains on a permanent vacation. Just as muscles atrophy from lack of use, our cognitive faculties can weaken when they are not regularly engaged in challenging work. The brain's ability to change its structure and function based on experience is known as neuroplasticity. It's often summarized by the phrase, use it or lose it. When you practice a skill, its neural circuits become stronger and more efficient. When you stop, those circuits weaken as the brain reallocates resources. This is the biological engine driving the trade-off between AI convenience and human judgment, like the act of critical thinking. Synthesizing ideas and forming arguments isn't abstract, it's a physical process. Every time you struggle to untangle a complex problem, you are strengthening neural circuitry, literally building a better brain for thinking. When you hand that struggle over to an AI, you forfeit that workout. The long-term consequence is the gradual atrophy of your cognitive edge. Your ability to generate ideas, sustain deep focus, and trust your intuition wanes. But you lose the ability to generate that good idea on your own. This is a subtle but profound de-skilling. You are shifting from being the craftsman to the person who merely inspects the craftsman's work, and in doing so, you lose the craftsman's deep, embodied knowledge. A classic study of London taxi drivers provides a striking real-world example of neuroplasticity. To earn their license, these drivers must memorize the knowledge. Over 25,000 streets, thousands of points of interest. Brain scans reveal experienced cabbies have a significantly larger posterior hippocampus, a brain region crucial for spatial memory and navigation. Their brains physically changed in response to intense, repeated navigation. This demonstrates a clear truth. The brain molds itself to the demands placed upon it. If we demand that our brains practice judgment, they will build the capacity for it. If we instead demand only that they operate a tool, they will build that capacity instead, letting the other go. The long-term cost of this trade-off is the de-skilling of our intuition. Good judgment is not a magical sixth sense. It is a sophisticated form of pattern recognition developed over years of deliberate practice. To counteract the de-skilling from AI convenience, don't abandon these powerful tools. Change your relationship with them. Instead of a crutch, use AI as a sparring partner that challenges and refines your judgment. This means moving from passive acceptance to active engagement. A simple rule is to treat all AI-generated content as a rough first draft that requires deep manual revision. Commit to editing every piece of AI output at least twice. The first pass can be for clarity, flow, factual accuracy. The second pass, however, should be more profound. In this pass, challenge the very structure of the argument. Ask yourself, is this the best way to frame this point? What underlying assumption is the AI making? Could I explain this core idea more simply or powerfully in my own words? This process forces you to move beyond superficial editing and engage in critical thinking that builds and maintains your judgment. Another powerful technique is to use AI to generate multiple competing options. Instead of asking for an email to my team, ask for 3 different emails to my team. Direct and formal, collaborative and informal storytelling approach. This transforms delegation into a strategic decision-making exercise, using AI's rapid generation as a training simulation for your judgment. Then, use the time saved by AI to invest in deeper learning. If an AI summarizes a paper, use that saved time to read a related one or explore a difficult concept. This turns AI from a tool of pure efficiency into a tool for accelerated learning. But to create space to do more deep, effortful thinking that truly sharpens your mind and secures your long-term value in a world full of intelligent machines. By over-relying on the convenience of AI, we risk trading away our potential to become one of those truly valuable individuals. This means we risk becoming perpetually stuck at an intermediate level of skill. We become proficient at prompting the machine and editing its output, but we may never develop the deep first principles understanding that characterizes a true expert. The third significant trade-off of our time is between the flexibility of remote work and the strength of our professional relationships. While the autonomy and improved work-life balance are a revolution for many, this freedom has a trade-off. It's the erosion of casual, spontaneous interactions that build trust and signal our value. Think of the hallway conversation, where you offer a quick, helpful insight. In an office, moments of ambient sociability build relational trust. This trust makes you seem indispensable, the person a manager fights to keep during layoffs. But in remote work, these signals fade. Our presence becomes the documents we edit or the code we commit. While this work is essential, it's an incomplete picture that misses the texture of our personality and the warmth of our collaboration. Our brains are wired for in-person connection, which fosters a psychological safety that's difficult to replicate through a screen. Without it, serendipitous collisions become rare, and we risk becoming more replaceable as employment decisions turn transactional. When leaders make tough choices, they're biased toward the people they know, trust, and feel connected to. A 2023 Gallup analysis confirms remote employees report weaker connections to their colleagues and company mission. The insight is that while flexibility is valuable, a complete absence of physical presence can make you professionally vulnerable. The trade-offs we've explored: soft life versus resilience, AI versus judgment, remote work versus connection, all share a deceptive pattern. Modern comforts offer an immediate reward while quietly extracting a slow, cumulative cost. Our brains and culture nudge us down this path of least resistance, causing a quiet drift from the qualities that grant enduring strength: toughness, wisdom, and human connection. This drift is gradual, so we must look at our daily choices with new intention. It's the small, repeated actions that shape who we become, not single grand decisions. Acts of ease, like using AI to draft an email, aren't the enemy. The problem is when they become default habits, replacing essential practices like facing challenges and exercising judgment. The question is, how to use these comforts without letting them use us. To change course, Start with one small, sustainable habit. Choose one area and commit to a single action. To build resilience, schedule one small weekly challenge that pushes you just beyond your comfort zone. To sharpen judgment, make it a rule to always perform a deep, critical edit on any AI-generated text. To strengthen professional bonds, schedule one in-person coffee each month, purely for connection. Schedule a dedicated virtual lunch with a colleague each month, purely for connection. These habits are simple and repeatable. They push you just enough to stimulate growth without causing burnout. They are consistent, not heroic. Mild, productive stress, repeated over time, is the master key to building resilience, keeping skills sharp, keeping human ties strong. Before you choose maximum comfort, pause and ask. Ask yourself, what essential skill am I not practicing by taking this easier path? This question forces the hidden trade-off into the light. Change isn't a dramatic leap, but the quiet practice of better choices day after day. So keep the comforts that restore you, but choose the challenges that define you. Over time, you'll build a deep, abiding calm that comes from knowing you are strong enough. Let comfort be a welcome guest in your life, but never let it become the master of your house. The 3 trade-offs ask us to exchange a little ease today for a stronger tomorrow. Comfort, properly bounded, becomes a tool, not a tether. Choose growth with warmth and intention, and let that choice quietly compound into a life that is calm because it is capable.